Yeah, well, this is it. This is absolutely individualism versus collectivism. And I was interviewed by a young journalist today from Carleton University, and she asked me straight out about my white privilege, and I thought, there's a question I find I find it appalling. It's an appalling question. She's a second-year political science student. She had no idea about the history of the Soviet Union. I asked her how many people were killed in internal repression in the Soviet Union, and she had no idea. She had absolutely no idea. She guessed 1 million people, which meant she was out by a factor of about 50.
Right.
And she had never heard of the problem with the idea of collective group-based guilt. And one of the processes by which the Marxist doctrine was transformed into the murderous outcomes in the Soviet Union was to play collective guilt games. The Soviets killed all their productive farmers in the late 1920s because they regarded them, anybody who owned a house, these were people who were serfs like 30 years before. Some of them had like clambered up the peasant ranks so that they maybe owned a brick house and could employ one person and had a cow and some, and a field or two. But they were producing almost all of Russia's agricultural output. And it's because a small minority of people always produce the majority of whatever's being produced. So they threw them all on trains, shipped them up to Siberia, killed them all, collectivized the farms, and in the 1930s, 6 million Ukrainians starved to death. So this idea of collective guilt, and then the fact that someone could come right out and question me on my white privilege, if that isn't racism, I've never encountered racism in my life.